Hey yo, what up? What up? It's Lamek with Selah Sports TV back at it again. Chit. Hey, so first of all, I want to say shout out to Hood Educated. Go ahead, subscribe to his channel. But what I want to talk about in this video is the ramifications of this culture, right? The ramifications of equating hip hop culture to black culture. You know, like there's always a beginning and an end. You know, like if you're making let's say what can I say? Let's say, and I ain't had Kool-Aid in since I was a kid, right? I ain't had no Kool-Aid. I ain't made a fucking picture of Kool-Aid since I was a kid. But let's say you're making a picture of Kool-Aid, right? And you put too much sugar in it. The shit's gonna come out terrible, right? You're not gonna be able to drink it. If you are making if you hooking yourself up some broccoli, right? You making a big pot of broccoli, and you end up putting too much. Let's say you put salt in it, right? You put too much salt in it, it's gonna end up being terrible. Basically, the ingredients that you put in a certain thing is no getting away from it. There's no getting away from it. It's gonna come out like old folks used to say. It's gonna come out in the, how did it go? It's gonna come out in the rinse or the wash, right? Some shit like that. But you get what I'm saying. Like the truth is gonna be revealed, right? Whatever's inside is gonna be revealed on the outside. It's definitely gonna manifest. So what am I talking about? Well, I'm sure you've heard by now. Ti rapper Ti, one of the more popular rappers, right? Um, he and his son and really his family were at a Atlanta Falcons game. Atlanta played the Saints, and they were there, and they got into a heated argument, right? And it just goes to show how sad this culture that we identify with is. I mean, the culture is so sad. Like here, we got kids who are well off. They were raised well off. They have well off parents, right? But they're ashamed. And why are they ashamed? Because of hip hop culture, the same culture that Ti made all that money off of, right? The same culture he made all that money off of, trap music, and he got the trap museum, and trap this and trap that. Like that same ugly, dusty culture was able to afford him a fabulous lifestyle, right? But it's Ti, so it's like his son can't even walk out here and with his head up. You know, our children, and by our, I'm talking about specifically quote unquote black children, right? Quote unquote black children, um, they don't want to, they want to be well off, but they don't want to be known for being well off, right? Nobody wants to have a silver spoon. That's like one of the worst things you can, it's an insult. It's taken as an insult, right? And that's because of this toxic fucking culture that we have, you know, and you can pretty much name any rapper the past 25, 30 years, and you can hang this shit around their neck. Even going, I know y'all love Tupac, but even going back to Tupac, he promoted thug culture, thug life, thug this and thug that. Like before him, there was none of that. That wasn't something to be proud of. That wasn't nothing to be proud of. But basically, our this thing we call hip hop has been turned upside down. It's been poisoned and fed back to us, and it affects these children. So let's look at the altercation between Ti and his son King, right? And I'm gonna hop in and out. Once again, I want to say shout out to Hood Educated for the video. Have you ever woke up with a roach on your face? Here, no, that's not the ghost. Now, right off the bat, right off the bat. T.I., and see, I blame T.I. for this. T.I., in efforts um to bring his son down a notch or two, he asked him, "Have you ever woke up with a roach on your face?" As if that's some type of qualifier for being a real nigga, right? You gotta wake up with a roach on your face in order to be real, right? And King, as far as I'm concerned, he appropriately said, "That's not the goal." Like, is that the goal to wake up with bugs on my face? No, I didn't. And that doesn't mean anything. You got plenty of people who um, did have that, do have that, and they ain't real. It don't make them like. It doesn't describe their character at all, right? It don't make you better or worse because you grew up that way. But that's what Ti like. This goes to show you can't like money just don't instantly change class, right? Money don't instantly make you wise. Like these are people who are rich. These are people who are wealthy with this mindset, as if that's any type of qualifier. That doesn't qualify you for shit. But let's continue. So then that makes him feel the need to say, I had niggas with me in the neighborhood that woke up with roaches on their face. Like, that's the criteria. That's the criteria now. You see how fucking stupid this is? This is stupid. Like Ghostface had a song, all that I got is you, and he wasn't glorifying it. He was talking about plucking roaches out the cereal box and shit like that. But he was saying it, that was like some ugly shit. Like being real. You know what I'm saying? Not, oh, I'm hard because of this. But this is how low this culture has sunk into. He's now at this point, King is still being lighthearted with it, right? But even still, he's asking his parents, y'all want to go to the bando? Do y'all want to go to the bando right now? The bando, an abandoned house, an abandoned apartment, an abandoned building where usually nefarious activities are taking place, right? Usually people cooking up or doing this or doing that, selling this or selling that, like deals being made. You get what I'm saying. He's asking his parents, do they want to go to the bando right now? Basically letting them know that he has access to a place like that. It don't matter what they talking about, right? So let's just back up because it's important to look at things from the right altitude, right? We got this kid who came up well off parents, very successful parents, right? T.I. owned properties all around Atlanta, doing very well for himself, right? But his kid hangs out in bandos, right? His kid behaves like this. Let's go. Do y'all want to go to the bando? To make him look better, he said he know not true. Silver spoon, I ain't never ate with that day. So now he's saying to make him look better, he's saying shit that he know is not true. He's talking about his father. I can't imagine talking about my father like that. To make him look better, he's saying shit that he know ain't true. Right? These guys have a problem. These guys have a problem. Let's go. And then Tiny little funny looking ass. Now she hops in talking about, you didn't have a silver spoon. She's supposed to be diffusing it. This is what I'm saying. Guys, this is what I'm saying about your lady. Your lady got to be able to diffuse things. She got to be able to get between you and your son and make cooler heads prevail. I ain't gonna say make cooler heads prevail, but influence cooler heads to prevail. But she's pretty much in right there in the midst of the chaos, taking part in the shit, right? Like at this point, when they going at it and the situation getting heated between King and his father Ti, they supposed to like one glance at your mom, and you supposed to be like, you know what, I'ma chill. You might be boiling on the inside, but not when she talking like this. Not when she talking like this. Watch this. I'm getting in the fight. Like a baby to go to your grandmama's house. He bragging about getting in the fights. He bragging about getting in the fights and shit. I don't want to be in these gates. I want to be outside in the neighborhood. See, he's ashamed of his upbringing. I don't want to be in these gates. I want to be outside in the neighborhood. This is what he's saying. Now, personally, I think there's more to it than that. It's a reason why he don't want to be there, right? And I already said one of them, but it's probably even more than that, just considering who his parents are, the stuff they've been accused of and been a part of, been sued for. Like, it's probably a lot of stuff he don't want to be around, right? It's probably a lot of stuff he don't want to be around. But I'm just going to go off what we see on the surface. Because that, frankly, that's enough. But keep watching. That's why I want to be over there. But they don't understand that. I'm going to tell you the reason why he want to be over there. Y'all ready? Because he can suck and pacify over there. You know, 12 years. Now see, that now, you see what she did? You see what she did there? The situation was pretty much getting diffused. They were joking. It was getting a little carried away. But then what is a foul woman going to do? She's going to hop up and say some stupid shit and take the shit to a whole nother level. She grabs his camera, his phone, first of all. He's on live. Like, you know how this social media shit is, especially for these kids. He's on his live. She grabs his phone, talks to his, what do you want to call it, followers, subscribers, and basically humiliates him. He want to be over there because he want to suck his pacifier. Like, some shit, man, you just don't do. Some shit you just don't do. And right here, I'm talking wisdom. If you're taking what I'm saying and you think I'm supporting, I stand by what this disrespectful kid is doing and saying, that's not what it is. What I'm saying is, as parents, somebody got to be the bigger person. Somebody got to be smart. Somebody got to be wise. Right? When you're in the public, especially with your kids, you know how many people will want to get at this dude if they see him getting bullied by his own parent? And that's exactly what this is. This is bullying. They see him getting bullied by his own parents with the type of bullying that they doing. Hood shaming. Right? Negativity and hood shaming. You best believe they're going to know, they're going to feel like they can do the same thing. This nigga parents don't even respect him. We can disrespect him too. Nigga, your parents say you silver spoon. Your own parents said this. Your own parents said you was sucking on pacifiers and shit. Your parents said, that's why you don't do that. You got to be on one accord when you with your kids, and especially in public. I mean, really, it shouldn't even be. I ain't talking about putting on no act. It's because y'all should be on one accord from the beginning. But just the fact of how King is talking to his parents, there you can see that there's no respect there. He don't respect them. And frankly, they don't respect him. Now his mother, his mom, gets on his phone, his live, and humiliates him even more. Now watch how the situation escalates. She just told the world that he was sucking a pacifier till he was 12 years old. That's what she said. She just told everybody that. Like, what? This is why you don't idol worship these people. Never, ever, ever, ever want to switch places with these motherfuckers. None of them. Trust me. Don't ever wish to switch places with none of these people. They're not good. They're not happy. In most cases, they're miserable. They have bad mindsets. Right? I mean, she's doing all this talking, but look how much she's changed her appearance. I mean, and to no avail, but whatever. She just escalated this situation that much more. Like, your mom is supposed to kind of like look out for your heart a little bit, nurture. She just did some masculine shit right here. Even if it's true, like, you don't put that. Why? What you gonna get out of putting that out to the world like that? So now watch what happens. See, you see that? He got more to say about them. He basically saying they trying to expose me, but they ain't gonna tell you everything, right? They ain't gonna tell you everything, and this is like, I don't really judge men's looks, and you know what? I ain't gonna judge them. That. I will say this: like, brother's a little young to have the fake choppers already, right? You're a little young for that, but let's go. He talking about his father. He capping. He capping. He know I stand on business. He talking to and about his father like this. Can't no nigga ever pull my car in life. He's talking about his father. He just called his father a nigga, bro. There's no respect here. Zero. Either way, going both ways. There's no respect. Pause. There's no respect there. I stand on business. You drop me somewhere, I stand on business. You drop me in your hood, I stand on business. Yeah. I've been stood on business. I've been stood on. His friends are chiming in. He got his friends chiming in about his parents. Like, this is weird, bro. And it is, you know what? Fuck weird. It's sad. It's fucking sad. But it's not even done yet. You want to hide it for the world? I'm going to put it out there for them to see. I want to put up nowhere. You ain't had me put up nowhere. You ain't had me put up nowhere. So, like, man, it's so fucked up. It's like, I don't agree with the music T.I. put out. I don't agree with the glorification of the trap bullshit. I don't agree with none of that. But just imagine working that hard for your career, right? Working that hard in the industry, doing that much work, right? Doing that many shows, all the shows you had to do when you were sick, all the tours, all the shit you had to do when you didn't feel like it, all the photo shoots you had to do. I know it's probably not, it's not backbreaking work, but it's work. Dealing with the public when you don't feel like it, like all of that, so that you sacrificing for your family just so that your son can turn around and say, ain't, like, fuck all of that, basically. Ain't none of that me. I ain't need none of that. You ain't never had me put up nowhere. That's what he said. You ain't had me behind, look. You ain't had me behind the mansion. I did all that work just so your son can look you in the face and say some shit like that. Like, I don't talk about these issues to say, "Oh, look at Ti." This ain't coming from a gossip point of view. This is coming from a culture. Like, what the fuck? Get rid of this culture point of view. We gotta flush this culture down the toilet. That's what perspective I'm coming from. It's just that when it happens on a scale like this, it's easier to talk about, right? It's easier to see. And it shows you, like, it ain't about the money, clearly. Culture trumps money. That's why I do my best to put my kids around a fresh, uh, positive, healthy culture. I'm not putting them around none of that. We don't listen to rap music. And if we do, it's gonna be some old school shit where I ain't gotta worry about it. Right? It's gonna be some old school shit that I really ain't gotta worry about. But really, it ain't even we don't listen to that shit. Not only just the music, but the movies, everything. Like, I try my hardest to just do no harm when it comes to my kids. Right? Now you got this kid who grew up privileged. Let's just say that. He grew up privileged. But he's oh yeah, talking about I did what I wanted to do. I was outside. You lied behind that. You lied. No, you got too much to drink. Son drunk too much. Drunk too much. Let's go. Now get mad because we say the South ain't the suburbs. Then he want to talk about some other like this being sick. This being sick. No, I'm being real. You lying. You lying. Now he just called his father a liar, outright liar. You lying. You lying. Like, bro, that's so disrespectful, man. That's disrespectful. But here's the thing, and this ain't in defense of King, but it is an understanding. Like, T.I. didn't raise him to like you get this is what I said in the beginning. Like, when you put bullshit ingredients in and you don't hold kids accountable and you basically let them just do whatever and you spoil them and all of that shit. This is what you're gonna get. That spoiled ass brat kid who probably should have had his ass whipped back then. He's gonna eventually grow up, right? And all that shit, all that toxicity is gonna become malignant, right? It's not just gonna cure itself. It's gonna get steeped. He's gonna get steeped in that shit. He's gonna get emboldened because you never corrected it from the beginning. You can't wait till now and try to crack down on him. He probably a grown man. He probably legally a grown. I don't know how old this motherfucker is. He probably a grown man by now. As weird as he looks, he probably a grown ass man. Quiet as kept, right? Now he's out here calling his dad. Here's my thing. You don't call your dad up. I don't give a fuck how old you are. Like, he's doing all this public disrespect. You over here flagging. You're capping. See, all because the shit got escalated when it should have got de-escalated. Like, we don't do de-escalation very well. Like, the emotional maturity, the emotional intelligence is pretty much non-existent. This is why I stay away from most niggas for real. It ain't it ain't out of hatred. It's out of self-preservation. Self-preservation. I know how fast boom, it's like boom. I know how fast things escalate around certain mindsets, right? And to keep myself from getting hurt, killed, or B from hurting or killing somebody else, I stay away from it. From getting myself in prison, from losing my freedom, I stay away from it. I stay away from it. Because the emotional maturity of most motherfuckers is terrible. Like, nobody talk about haters more than the typical hood. I'm gonna just say hood person to keep myself out of trouble. The typical hood person talk about haters more than anybody, as if somebody want to switch places with them, as if somebody wants something that they got. But then that's when you got to dive deeper into that definition. The definition that most hood motherfuckers use as hating is basically somebody disagreeing with them. That's hating now, right? That's hating. Like, nobody could just disagree just on the merits. It's always because they hate. And that's the mindset. That's the mindset. Now, this motherfucker right here is in public going word for word with his parents. Like, he don't even know better than to do that. He don't even knew. Here's the thing. Even if he didn't say none of this and he waited till they got home and went off on his parents, he would still be wrong. He would still be wrong. But the fact that is no filter. Like, they just come right out with it. That just shows you the lack of emotional intelligence right there. Now, the same mom, Tiny, the same one that escalated, now she want him to shut up. See how stupid these people are? Like, if you wanted him to shut up, why would you grab his phone and say, yeah, he sucking on the pacifier till he was 12? Like, he's going to defend himself. Like, he's got friends. He's got some hood buddies, right? So, of course, now he feel like, he got to protect himself. And a kid should never feel like they got to protect themselves from their own parents. Again, I'm not excusing his behavior. I'm just explaining it. I'm explaining his behavior. Because what I see out here, everybody's saying, oh, King wrong. Yeah, he is wrong, but they wrong too. He's wrong, but they ain't like they right. They not. He's wrong because they're wrong. How about that? They didn't pour the right ingredients into this kid. And now he's basically a grown man. And like, I don't wish nothing on it. I hope they get this together. But we gotta deal in honesty. We gotta look at shit in truth. Like, all this finger pointing shit, that's fine, but point it correctly. And sometimes that finger gotta come right back to you. The Most High knows I've done that. Right? Let's go. I know you know. I know you know. Now it's getting personal. I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Now his mom is, what the fuck wrong with you? Like, all you had to do was defuse the situation. She could have grabbed that phone and said, you know what, y'all? My son, he's definitely a man. He don't need, she could have propped him up, right? She could have made him feel good about himself. She could have did that. But she grabbed the phone and talked about him, like, humiliating him. Right? T.I., his dad, he could have said, you know what, son? Yeah, you a man. I ain't gonna take that away from you. You right. Just something to diffuse the shit. But everybody wanna be right. Everybody wanna be loud. Everybody wanna get the last word. Everybody wanna be tough. And see, he's hurt by this. Y'all doing that to me? Cause he feel like, damn, y'all trying to humiliate me in front of the fucking world. Like, what the fuck? Like, that don't work for everybody. Y'all know me. You know I stand on business. You know I stand on business. Why you even letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting somebody play with me like that? Why you let him play with me like that? Why you let him play with me like that? No, ain't no joking. Now she's saying, we joking. Come on now. That's just naive. It's naive and it's stupid. You can't humiliate somebody like that. And that's another thing. That's some other nigga shit right there. You can't humiliate somebody and then say, I was just joking. That's that nigga shit, right? Niggas always joking at somebody else's expense. And then when you call them on their bullshit, now they want to bring it back to a joke. You don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. Like, it's consequences for shit like that. Is King right? No, he's not. He's a spoiled fucking brat, right? You could tell he ain't got his ass whipped enough. And I ain't even gonna boil it all down to an ass whipping. He ain't been chastised enough. He ain't been corrected enough. He ain't been corrected enough. See, if you believe in correction of kids from birth, correct them. Then it don't even have to get to an ass whipping. Right? It don't. It don't have to get to that. Like, I can't even. My son, as far as I'm concerned, like, my son maybe got like 1 or 2 spankings in his life. Right? My daughter, I don't never. She's never been spanked. Not by me. Right? Because it don't ever need to come to that. When they heed your words, that's it. Now, as far as like correction, yeah, they're gonna get corrected. Ain't no kid perfect. They all need correction. But feeling like you gotta lay hands on your kid, that ain't normal. It's not normal. It shouldn't be. That means it's a fucking problem. Now, T.I., you're embarrassing yourself as a family. First of all, that don't make sense. He's embarrassing you too. And you embarrassed him. And you embarrassed yourself. See, I ain't even gonna go back and say, I think y'all get what I'm saying. The culture needs to be fixed. Big problems with the culture, but this is just a microcosm of it. You know, I don't wish nothing bad on T.I. And his family. Um, but this type of thing does happen when you glorify the wrong shit, right? A lot of people call it karma. I don't really, I don't really believe in all that bullshit. But to me, it's what I said it was in the beginning. Like, if you do bad shit, if you put, if you build on unsturdy ground, if you put it's several analogies you can use, right? If you build on unstable ground, if you put bad ingredients into a dish, right? It's gonna come out that way. It ain't no way something gonna come out good and they wasn't raised good. You gotta do your part as a parent. You gotta do your part. And it ain't about money. It ain't about money. Sometimes the money can make it worse. The money will hide all the fuckery. Whereas if you didn't have it, you would see you'd be more hip to the bullshit. Anyway, that's all I got. Drop your comments. Agree or disagree. Like, this ain't the type of channel where you just gotta agree with everything I'm saying. If you whatever it is, drop your comments in the comment section. Subscribe. Hit that like button though. Peace.